Hey everyone, thank you so much for watching and for spending some minutes with me. Today I want to talk about YouTube faceless channels and why I don't think they are the best side hustle, for me or for anyone. I want to start with this page. These are the results that I've had with faceless channels, and then I'll show you something else. So these are the results of my two channels. I have created about 100 videos in total. And the thing is, I've lost about $4,000. So it's $4,000 in the creation of those 100 videos, plus an online course that I did for faceless YouTube channels. And so you can see here that the cost per video, at least those that I have produced, is about $37 and a half. And when I decided to stop these faceless channels and and continue there, I was working with a team of about 10 people. And so this course here includes everything. This includes like some advertising, the cost of the editing, the cost of the scripts, the cost of the voices, and everything else, right? And also the cost of the different programs that I was using for managing or for creating that content. So after this, I want to talk about the different steps that you need to that it will take you to create that content. So I started, and if you watch, if you have taken some of those training courses, they talk about using tools like Video IQ or TubeBuddy and stuff like that. I've used both of them, and the thing is, for those 100 videos, I was using these tools quite a lot, optimizing what I thought was, the title, the descriptions, the thumbnails, the tags, and everything else. And I was not able to actually, take one of my videos and make it very viral. And so, yes, these are helpful tools that will allow you somewhat, but I don't think actually they have the recipe to actually take one of your videos and make it very, very viral, which is ideally what you want to happen. I've also spent a lot of time inside YouTube trying to find, the right topic for my YouTube channels. And you can see here on the right hand side some of the things that I was able to find and that you probably have found also, like doing some research. There are channels that talk about either soccer or basketball game highlights. They also talk about fights, like boxing and some of the things. Some channels they talk about crime and jury and stuff like that. There are some karaoke channels. Some of the channels are uh, have songs, and you can listen to those songs in the background when you work or you study, stuff like that. Some of the channels are about true stories, recent discoveries, space exploration. All this stuff here at the top is basically stuff that most likely you will not have the rights for the content. So it's a bit it's a bit dodgy. Those channels are there, they make money or a ton of money, with their content, but that doesn't mean that you have the right to use that content. And so it's you have to make a decision of where you want to be yourself. There are some channels that are very successful with the true stories, recent discoveries, space exploration. And then there are some others like that talk about riddles, or they have tests, or they have sounds of rain, so you can just listen to the rain. And I also was able to find this one, which is about candy eating. Like you'll see like a close up of a mouth, and either him or her is like just eating candy all the time for minutes and minutes and half an hour, and people are just happen to watch that. Anyway, so once you do all this research, and you'll spend a ton of time here, right, trying to find the right content for the channel for you, I decided to pick quizzes. And so my recommendation is don't do it. Don't do quizzes or don't do many of these things unless, I'll tell you why a bit later. But if you don't know, like a quiz is, this is a thumbnail I've taken from YouTube. It's not mine, but something like this. Like usually there is a video for for a group of songs, and whoever is watching they have to finish the song. Like I can buy myself flowers here, right? So there is one song after the other, and these quizzes can be about dozens and dozens and dozens of different topics. But most likely you'll see things like music and movies and TV shows and restaurants and logos and stuff like that. So, okay, you pick one. And then after you pick one, you need to configure the channel, right? And so, taking my example, you have a couple of options here. The first one is to go fully organic, meaning you create content and you allow the channel to grow organically, or you buy a monetizable channel already. And so both options are available. You can say, okay, who's going to make this or who does this? Well, you have people out there. You can find them probably on Facebook who actually will sell you a channel. The cost is about $250 for that channel, and it already has about 1,000 subscribers and 4,000 hours of watch content. And the thing is, let's think about this for a second, right? So, if you create a channel that you allow it to grow organically, you need, before you can earn any money, you need to get to up to 1,000 subscribers and 4,000 hours of watch content. It's going to take you probably anything between 1 to 2 years for that channel to be monetizable. um, that's without advertising or with other means. You're just letting it grow uh, slowly, and you'll see some of my results later on, so you'll understand why. You will understand why. Now, the problem is, don't buy a monetizable channel, because if you do, like, I'm not saying that it's not possible. What I'm saying is that for the majority, and I like to include myself in the majority because that's more of a more realistic scenario. Once they transfer you this channel, right? These 1,000 subscribers are fake, and the 4,000 hours watch content is also fake. They're also fake. And so, even if they transfer you a channel that is monetizable from the get-go, you will still need about 2 years to make, to grow it. Meaning, okay, let's suppose you receive the channel from them, because there is a transfer process, and this is, something that you need to think about. There is some security behind, and some exchange. You need to change the security behind the channel and change the emails that pertain to this channel, stuff like that. Um, the day after you create a piece of content, you launch it still has 0 views because there are no existing subscribers, right? So you still need to do the work. And so my recommendation is, yeah, it seems to you that you will be saving some time, but actually we're spending the same time. It's true that while you build it in these 2 years, maybe if you get, if you are lucky, or if you and one of your pieces is very viral, or if you grow substantially, then yes, you can start making money much sooner than organically. But just don't think that because you buy a monetizable channel the day after, you'll start receiving money very quickly, because that's not the case. So this is, let me give you some tips about the content, right? In my case, I started publishing 1 to 2 videos per week, sometimes 3 times per week. And I also tried daily. So for a couple of weeks, I was trying daily. And then I went back to, to a few days per week. I saw no differences in how fast those videos grew, for example. If in my case, I was creating videos that were, initially below, like on the range of 5 minutes to 8 minutes. But then once it's monetizable, you realize that after 8 minutes, you can insert ads in the middle of the videos. And so theoretically, it's best to have videos that are longer form, right? The thing is, if you create videos that are longer form and people are watching for a long time, it's easier to get to those 4,000 hours. If you instead create short videos, then you can create pieces at 30 seconds, but you will need more shorts, because the standards inside YouTube for allowing you to monetize are much higher than longer form content. And then in the production steps for this content, these are all the steps it took me, right? So on average, about 4 to 8 hours per video. And so I was creating the scripts. I started doing everything myself, and then eventually I decided to, outsource everything out, to a team of people. And as I mentioned, I was working with 10 people. So you have to create the script. You need to get some images or footage. Either you buy it or you create them yourself, or if it's animation is one thing, but if you need like real footage, that's a different story that you need to put inside the video. You need to create probably a voiceover. You need to think about music, some sound effects, and do all the whole editing. That's why it takes a long time to create all this content. And if we go back for a second to the list of potential topics that you want to do here on the right hand side. Some of them will be easier than others, right? So if you just have, for example, a karaoke, that's one thing because you just need like to work on the text quite a lot. Instead, if you do space exploration, you will see on YouTube that the creators for this type of content spend quite a lot of time into the images and the video content itself, and it's a good production. There is a lot of very good value in those videos. If you create riddles or quizzes, and some of the things are much easier. And then obviously if you get the content from that, from someone else, it's not really your content, then you have to deal with lots of probably complaints and copyright issues. And there are lots of channels out there that are successful until YouTube decides to close them, or to strike them with copyright claims. So if we go back here, now these are the different tools I use for working with my team. So you get different team members from these sources. You can use Upwork or Fiverr or online jobs from Philippines. And this will allow you to get anything between, an editor to someone who can write a script for you, people who can manage your channel, a lot of stuff you can find. And you'll find, you'll have to discuss with them the price that you want, to pay them. In my case, I was doing it per video. So you get the quote or the price per video, and then you try over time, depending on how many you can do, maybe you have more leverage to reduce that cost per video down and stuff like that. Once you have your team of people, and in my case, I was using script writers and I was using editors, right? The next thing I did is I created, because I created the first videos myself. And so I realized that I don't want them to have to reinvent the wheel every single time. So what you can do is you basically give them the backgrounds, the music or the intro music, the intro of the video with your logo, for example. You give them some screenshots and some icons and some other stuff. So you put everything, you create some of those with Canva or some other tools, and then you save everything in Google Drive. So with each of these potential team members, you share with them a link to that Google Drive where you have those default materials to be used. And so they can grab from here whatever they want for creating their own assets. So you give them some flexibility and some freedom for creating the content for you, but everything is restricted within some branding that you create for them. Okay. And so the next thing I did is I created a Trello. And initially, my first Trello workspace, I was commingling everything, but then very quickly I decided I was getting confused. So what I did is I created one workspace per team member. So if you have a script writer, you create a Trello for them, a workspace for them. If you have an editor, you create a workspace for them, right? Everything is separate. And these Trello workspaces, you create, I think it's 4 or 5 swim lanes. The first one is to do. The second one is in progress. The third one is done. The fourth one is invoice. And the fifth one is paid. So you give them ideas. So you still have to take care of the ideas, what they have to create for you. And you do that in one of the notes in the to-do list. They keep working because some of these people, they don't want to just do a one-off for you, right? They want to keep working with you on a monthly basis. And so you give them enough work on a weekly basis so they can be busy for a full week, for example. And so you organize 4 or 5 ideas for one of these team members in the to-dos. Then they can pick at their own velocity and put it in progress, so you understand where things are. You can exchange comments back and forth depending on if you have some questions or stuff like that. And once they are done, they put it in the done or the review, right? And then you can spend some time in the same day or next day going through it, making sure that you like it. And if you need to give them some comments, you move it back to the in progress. Okay. And so once you agree that you are happy with the content they have created, you ask them to send you an invoice and then move it to invoice. So that's when the invoice has been sent, and then you pay it. And when it is paid, then you keep track of everything they have done in the paid column. Okay. And I used a couple of tools for payment. One was PayPal, and you'll find that not everyone uses PayPal. And in some of the countries, depending on where your team members are, you may have to use other tools like Wise, which allow you and them to pay and to receive it instantly, basically. Okay, so now that everything is up and running, now let me talk about what I expected when I started, right? So I was going through, and you'll do the same exercise when you try to decide what subject to pick. But I was expecting something like this, to create 100 videos, and one of them to actually be viral, because you go through those other channels and you realize that they have videos with 1 million views, 2 million views, 9 million views, 10 million views, and you think, okay, if one of my videos also becomes viral, then I'm going to have 1 million views. Then you think, okay, another 30% is going to be 100,000 views, because 1 million views means, a lot of subscribers for you as well. So you think that those subscribers, a lot of people will watch some of the content, right? That's why we have, my expectation was to have another 30 videos, or 29 videos in this case, with 100,000 views. And then the rest actually not be successful and have only like 10,000 views. So in total, to have, after a year, this process took me about a year, to have maybe 4.6 million, 5 million views. Um, every 1,000 views is about $2, $3 in general, depending on the subject you pick. So that would be about $10,000. So I would be in profit. Now, this is what happened, right? So one of my videos out of those 100 was 5,000 views. And the other 99 videos were less than 1,000 views, for a total of 20,000 views, which is only $40. And if we go back at the beginning, right, I said, I lost $4,000 for 100 videos. So I invested actually about $4,000 before pulling the plug. And, this was the reason, right? Because I wasn't seeing really the numbers. And you could say, well, you didn't wait long enough. That's fair. But after 100 videos, I think, quizzes are out there, and a lot of people do quizzes, and a lot of people will do your content anyway. Or someone will discover your content if it's not there and will create it, and you'll get some copycats as well, right? So I was expecting like at least one of them to have more success than this, and they didn't. And the reason is, I think, in this page. And this is the reason why I stopped, my Faceless YouTube channel effort. And so the Faceless channel are here on the left hand side. And as you can see now, I'm on the right hand side. I'm showing my face and I'm creating content in a different type of channel where I talk about stuff that I like. I'm not in a hurry so much. I don't mind too much if it takes me 2 years to grow this channel, or 3 years. But let's go here to the left hand side. And so this line here represents a traditional line for those 100 videos. So for example, in the video that had 5,000 views, I was very excited because it grew very quickly. Day one, day two, day three, right? 4,700 views, and then bloop, it dropped, right? Very quickly. And you can see the same type of chart for the other channels. And usually, I was launching between, as I said before, every 1 to 2 to 3 days, and then I tried daily as well. But what happens is this type of videos, for the content I was showing you, is mostly shown at the YouTube homepage. And so there you are competing with other similar videos or new things that have been recently published to YouTube. And recent means a couple of days or 3 days, at least tops, right? And so if you launch another video, what you are doing is actually killing the first one, because you are competing against yourself. And I couldn't find the solution to this. Even I tried with 100 videos, I was not able actually to change this type of behavior. So one is, you are at the homepage and there is no one there. Yeah, maybe people who know about it, but like, remember that, the people eating candy I told you about, like, if that's like, I can't believe that the majority of people on YouTube are actually looking for, people eating candy, right? And you actually want to watch that. That's something that most likely is either in your homepage and you click on it because it's like something that catches attention, or is like suggested when you're watching some type of content. But I don't think like people are actually searching for that stuff all the time. And that's why I decided to pull the plug. Now I'm on the right hand side. This is the type of line that I see in my videos. So in a year, my success in terms of views is probably similar, but here has, the cost for the right hand side for me has been zero because it's just me, no, it's not zero because actually I'm using a tool for recording these videos that is about, $10 a month. So that's an expense. But $4,000 versus $100, it makes a huge difference, right? On the left hand side, there is no timeline for when the success is going to come. At least I was not able to find it. So you have some tips there, just feel free to send them to me. On the right hand side, uh, this is the line that I see now. And the key for me is this type of content that I'm creating on the right hand side is evergreen, which means that this is content that now, if you go through my titles, you will see that my titles, there is always the how to, do this, how to do that. Or you could ask a question about how to do this, and that's the response I'm giving with my video. And so these type of videos are videos that, will be in the search, or they will be in the search for YouTube. Like, and people, searching for how to create a faceless YouTube channel. This is happening today, but it's also going to happen in 3 years' time. And, my expectation is that with this type of evergreen channel, I'll be able to use my content over and over again instead of dying as I was experiencing here on the left-hand side. Anyway, I hope you like it. Thank you so much for watching until the end. If you have any comments, let me know. Give me a thumbs up, like the channel, and subscribe to my content, and talk to you soon. Thank you.